Top of the morning, everyone. Top of the morning. It is May 28th, 2024, and it is also Tuesday. We got to talk about it Tuesday over here on News in Motion. It's also Taco Tuesday. If that is your thing, hey, go get you a taco today. But all jokes aside, we hope you had a wonderful weekend. And if you are ready for Talk About It Tuesday, please let us know in the chat. And also, how was your weekend? I can't believe we're about to be in June. This year is already flying by. If this is your first time tuning in to News in Motion, we just want to say welcome and thank you for tuning in with us live here at 7:25 a.m. Or if you're catching a replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or near the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for tuning in and supporting and loving us the way y'all do. We can be found on LinkedIn, YouTube, or any audio or podcast platforms. Good morning to you, Miss Marianne Jackson. Good morning, Miss Deborah Johnson. And good morning to you, Miss Adrian, all tuning in through the tools of you. As y'all rolling up in here, be sure to invite a friend. Make sure that y'all like and subscribe. And we'll be right back after this brief intro, y'all.
Motion.
Hello. What's up, everybody? I see you, Latrice Jones, rolling up in here. Shardinia, good morning to you. Fred Jones, good morning to you. Hopefully all of you had a restful long weekend. You did some reflection. You took us a moment to step back and to think about our heroes who died for us. Just a lot's been going on. To all the graduates, congratulations to you. My nephew Isaac will be graduating this week, so I'm so excited about him. I think I'm more concerned about his mama and daddy though, but I'm so excited about him. I really am. Just to be on that journey with you all, Latrice and Fred, the small portion that I was on the journey with you all. I'm so excited about his graduation. So excited about it. So with that, y'all, put in the chat. Good morning, Kim Edmondson. Put in the chat what you did this past weekend. What you did. Did you plant flowers? Did you go to some Memorial Day events? I don't know if you cooked out because it was storming. Whatever you were doing, there's a lot that's going on. So I just want to hear from you. I want you all to know that I'm always concerned about what you all are doing, because indeed we have created what I call a family. I received a question. I want to touch on it this morning. By the way, y'all, that's happening Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, May the 28th. And happy anniversary to my oldest sister and her husband, Sharon and Richard. I want to say happy anniversary to the two of you. But I received a question on that's happening Tuesday. I see you. Marion Jackson said, I relaxed this weekend. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Our condolences are still with you. We're still praying for you and your family as well, Marion. But I received this question, and I'm going to answer it. The question is, would you ever vote for Donald J. Trump? No. And I will explain, and they wanted to know why I would or why I would not. The reasons I would not would be where he is right now with all the indictments, where he is right now. They'll wrap up their closing arguments today, the attorneys in New York, in the election interference, also known as the hush money trial. I can say no because of his lifestyle, of things that's happened. We cannot ignore those things. I can say no because of his policies. I can say no. And then the follow-up question to that was, would you vote for someone else if someone new came to the platform? It depends. It depends. And it goes back to what we talked about last week, you all. We have to do our due diligence. We have to vet. We have to see their voting record. We have to understand their platform, not their spin and not their commercials, but who they are. What will they bring to the table? Again, their policies, how this would work against what it is that I'm looking for. So there's the answer. And I, that it is what it is, but no. But at the same time, I do want to stress that there have been times here you would have to go back through some previous news in motion videos. There have been times that I have stood with him reluctantly, but I believe in being fair and balanced. But there's been times that I've given him credit for way more than I thought I would ever give him credit for. Marion Jackson said, absolutely no, I would not vote for Trump. Well, there's that. Devontae, what's happening? Latrice Jones says, we went to a graduation party on Saturday, church on Sunday, and cooking yesterday. Girl, that was a whole lot. I want to know about that beet. Is it beet juice? I don't know what you posted. It looked refreshing, but I need to know more. Deborah Johnson said, I had fun. I had a fun weekend of graduation parties, a birthday party, and we catered a wonderful event on the river in Urbana. It was so peaceful. Good for you. Good morning, Elizabeth Walker. Good morning to you coming in here from LinkedIn. So, y'all, so that's my answer to the question that was given to me. I'm always going to be fair and balanced here. I'm always going to be fair and balanced here. So the person wrote in and asked me that question. No, I would not vote for him because of where he is right now. All the indictments, some of his policies, some of his responses, and if I'm honest here, I'm struggling a little bit going into this general election. I'm struggling a little bit because I'm like, where are we as a country? Where are we as citizens of the United States? Where are we with some of these policies? And that's why I do my due diligence to bring you as much as I possibly can, so that you see where we are as a country. What's up, Regina Shores? Uh, Latrice Jones says the beet that was a margarita. It was delicious. Maybe we can get Davia to do it. Davia, you on here so you can like put together this drink. We got to do something because that looked refreshing. All right, y'all. Searching for food. Let's get into some of the headlines this morning. AP reports that Israel's attack on Rafah, I want y'all to hear this, have sent nearly 1 million Palestinians fleeing from the southern Gaza city. Now, most have already been displaced multiple times during the Israel's nearly 8-month war on Gaza. So let's just start there for a moment. Let's reflect on that. Let's remember that's happening. Good morning, Bergie. Now, y'all, this is all happening as Israel intensifies attacks on Rafah. Now, we have desperate Palestinians who are living in tents. They're searching for food. So imagine the adults and the children searching for food. Now, the Palestinians, they're doing what they can. They're already running away from that southern portion there of Gaza. They're looking for food. They're pitching tents. They're even digging their own way through to be able to defecate, to urinate. Your conditions are horrible. They're really, really bad. And I want us to think about them as we're just reflecting on some of the things that are going on. Now, there's a movie that I watched this past weekend. And the movie is The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. Y'all, it is a historical fiction, which means it's a true story, but of course it still went through Hollywood. But I want y'all to understand this for a moment. The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. When I was watching that movie this past weekend, it's on Netflix. Y'all gonna start paying me for this? Because people are signing up to join Netflix because I'm recommending movies. So what we gonna do here? But anyway, this movie, I want y'all to watch it. The Boy That Harnessed the Wind. It's out of West Africa, where the government was treating them badly, still are. They were going hungry. They were fighting over cornmeal. At one point, this one family had enough to survive for 5 weeks. This movie is an amazing movie. It's a powerful movie. It's a moving movie. But when I watched that movie and was reading the articles and the alerts about Israel's attack on Rafah, I was able to put two and two together and say, this is what they're dealing with right now. No food, no place to lay their head peacefully, no good night's sleep, protecting their family, holding on to as much food as they possibly can if they find any. The trucks that are coming into the UN went from hundreds of trucks down to about 53. So imagine still feeding those families, making sure that they're well fed. So y'all, even with this, you may think that's Israel, that's Palestinians, that's Gaza, that's Rafah. But I also want you to think the United States and what we're sending and what this looks like when we're talking about the elections. Y'all cannot separate the two. And if you have a heart, you're wanting and praying for those individuals to have the food, the nourishment, the safety that they need. Am I right? Am I talking right to y'all? Text back in here. Let me know. Good morning, Hester. Good morning. So we have to be mindful of what's really happening. Y'all, the Palestinians, they are largely have been on their own to resettle their families, and we're talking basic survival, y'all. Yeah, they're literally digging what they're calling trenches to be able to use the bathroom. Okay, and then they're trying to cover it back up so that children won't crawl into it, walk into it, trip over into it. Those are the conditions, let alone no food and no place to wash up, no place to change their clothes. They probably don't even have a change of clothes with them. So just be up, just imagine that. The cooking, the wood, just all of that. Imagine that. So then we go to something that the Financial Times is reporting. And as you see, the Biden administration, they're strengthening the U.S. ties with Kenya. Um, there's a lot that's going on. I don't know if y'all followed the whole piece in Haiti, the killings of missionaries, the violence that's happening there. What are they doing? So the Financial Times is reporting that there is an official state to visit. This is the African leader of Kenya, Kenyan president, to meet up with President Biden to establish a deeper relationship to help those out in Haiti. So that's happening too. I'm trying, Adrian, I'm trying to connect all the dots. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Kenya is a major non-NATO ally. So that is happening as well. So there people are pushing back saying, well, they're not a part of NATO. And I have to be happy that the Biden administration is saying, we don't care. We want to do what we can to help Kenya over in Haiti. So that is happening. That is happening. And then with all of that happening out of the country, we have inside our country a former president who the closing arguments will begin today from the attorneys. And I'm wanting to call it what it is. It's an election interference trial, also known as the hush money trial. And I keep putting the election interference terminology out here because that's what it is. And I don't know why we keep softening it to a hush money trial. Like, oh, that's just hush money. That happens every day. No, this was election interference. So here's my question that I want you all to respond to this morning. If he is found guilty, do you think that the Republican Party, the RNC, which is now pretty much ran by his family, will still vote for him? Why or why not? Let's talk a little bit about this. Do you think that the Republican Party, do you think they will replace him? Do you think they'll keep him there? What do you think will happen? Do you think it's an opportunity for Nikki Haley to come back on the spotlight or someone else to come back on the spotlight? What do you think is going to happen here? What would the RNC convention that takes place in July, how is that going to look? How are we going to navigate these waters? What's going to really happen? So come on, y'all, join the chat. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're listening on the podcast on audio, you keep your eyes on the road. You keep driving. But everyone else is tuning in. Let me know what you're thinking about that. I want to hear from that. And as you're doing that, I'm going to keep talking about him, but please fill up the chat what your thoughts are. So, speaking of this former guy, the former occupant of the Oval, ABC News is reporting that former President Trump made an appearance at the Libertarian Party convention on Saturday. He didn't go very well. And the crowd, they weren't thrilled. They weren't expecting him. They weren't thrilled about it, and they started booing. And there's a plenty of videos out there that shows y'all just how loud the boos were. Um, he released a statement on Sunday. I'm sure he probably was like, let me back up here. So he released a statement on Sunday about not getting the nomination from the party. And he gave his own spin, saying the reason I didn't get the nomination was because I did not file the paperwork for the Libertarian nomination. Dude, it don't even sound right. You went seeking the nomination from the Libertarian Party. They booed you away. You didn't get it. You didn't get it at all. So he said that, as a Republican nominee, he could not file papers to get the nomination for the Libertarian Party, but you went to go get support. So let's call it what it is. And you wanted their backing. You wanted them to say, okay, we're going to give you our support. We're going to give you our backing. But yet they booed you. So that's what really happened. So y'all, always vet sources, always check it out so that you know the truth. So what is what really happened. He got booed away. So Chase Oliver was selected as the actual nominee. After 7 rounds of voting, the 38-year-old took the top spot. And they were different people, libertarians that were on the ballot. And the libertarian values mainstream. So they went with him, 38 years old. He doesn't seem to have any false hopes about actually winning. The White House, he's like, I probably won't win. But I checked him out, and I'm going to encourage you all. Google Chase Oliver. Very interesting. 38 years old. What I read, I was like, this is really interesting. But they don't have the money to go out there and put him out there. Nothing like that. And I sometimes pause and wonder, are we so narrow-minded as a country that we're not even open to hear from somebody else? It's not a bad. Read it for yourself. Check him out for yourself, Chase Oliver. I'm not saying I'm voting for him, but it was very interesting to see. So here are some individuals that we have out here. So the question is, why do they go another route? How do they get support? And what do we need to do as a country to open up our mind to receive different people? What does that look like? Lori says, I was wondering something yesterday, and they did a poll. I don't think she's finished with that. Bergie says, I think they will still vote for him. Lori, I think she finished it here. I was watching something yesterday. They did a poll, and people said they would still vote for him even if he was convicted. Yeah, that's a little sad. I think that's just sad. But that's what's happening, y'all. That's what's happening. All right, y'all. This should concern you. This should concern all of us. If y'all remember, this started last year. I was telling you all, good morning, Judy Neal. I was telling you all about AI. I was telling you all about the people who are pushing back, the full page ads that were coming out in papers, magazines, so forth. And Elon Musk was the one leading the way about we should not do AI. We should not talk about AI. AI is not good for us. Y'all remember I was reporting that. Y'all, there's a reason why I report what I report. Because you can see a trail and see where it's going. Good morning, Dr. Antoinette. Kim Edmondson says, I think people are interested in another part. I think people are interested in another party candidate. Yeah, because, yeah. I want y'all to check out this Chase Oliver. For real. What's up, Tracy Newman? She said, good morning. I'm like, girl, you okay? You okay? So y'all remember that I gave a report on Elon Musk and how he was leading the way to just denounce AI. Y'all remember that, right? I remember that. I did several reportings on that. And then he wanted to file suit. And then all of a sudden we found out, I think it was earlier this year, I shared on News in Motion that he has his own AI called Grok, Grok. Well, CNN Business reported this weekend, all these alerts were coming through, and I was checking them out, even though it was my long weekend, because there was some serious news popping off, y'all, this weekend. Well, he has this fetish with X. Okay, so he's now changed it to XAI. The AI firm founded by Elon Musk. I thought you didn't want AI. He's raised another $6 billion. You still haven't paid for X, formerly known as Twitter. He's with investors like Sequoia Capital, Anderson Horowitz, the Saudi Prince. And this is according to all this information that was released just yesterday. So XAI said that this new money would be used to take the firm's first products to market, but advance infrastructure and accelerate the research and develop the future of technologies. Dude, you can't even keep your Teslas self-driving from crashing. So let's talk about that seriously. Seriously. But you're going to put all this money into AI, all these technologies. Y'all, we should be very, very concerned. By the way, I have been using Grammarly. It's like a name nobody wants to talk about anymore for years. And I would really just take articles to submit into Grammarly if I didn't want to retain an editor or if my editor wasn't able to do it, just to check for like regular grammar, okay? Or misspelling words, or maybe I need to change the sentence this way. That's Grammarly. Y'all, Grammarly's still out there. Lately, I've been trying to really get some sort of familiarity with AI. Like, okay, let me check out this chat GPT. So instead of going to Grammarly, I'll put an article there. Y'all, the misinformation I get back, because AI will want to try to change your stuff, no matter, even if you say, and I normally put in there just like I would do with Grammarly, is this correct? Or check this for errors. And then I will put the article in there. Well, AI, Chat GPT, wants to like change stuff. I'm like, that ain't true. So you have to know your information and what you're putting in there. So I did an article the other day that I was putting up on Medium, and I was talking about the election, and AI changed some stuff. And I read it and I was like, this ain't right. Y'all, misinformation and disinformation is there. So we have to check all of this. Latrice, girl, I love Grammarly. I'm gonna stick with Grammarly, what I'm familiar with. And Grammarly now has an AI feature as well. It says, do you want to improve your paragraph or your article? And if you hit yes, you can compare it side by side and see. But y'all, never lose your voice. And that's the thing that's so important. Even if you use it, never lose your voice. Okay, never lose your voice in the process. Make sure your voice is still there. So, speaking of AI, The Verge reports, and I'm putting this in the Friday Rundown so you can read all of it for yourself. So, this is one article that's going in the Friday Rundown. Y'all, Google, as you know, have been rolling out its AI overview search feature since May. Okay, but the algorithm has been suggesting some interesting things. I'm like, what? So I went and checked it out because y'all know I like to test things out before I report them. So I put in some stuff and I was like, what? So it's all messed up. So even, they were encouraging in AI, they were encouraging people, students, to put glue on their pizza. Even suggesting that people should eat rocks. Like, what? Y'all, Google it. Don't take my word for it. Google it. You'll see it for yourselves. Okay, y'all know what I say. Vet my stuff. Vet every source. Vet. That's important. So in response to social media posts and memes about the broken feature, Google has been rushing to pretty much disable their AI overview on certain search results, making some of they thinking that they're fixing it, but it's not. So there's a lot of uncommon queries that are coming out, and Google is responding things that you're not even asking for. So if you think that you're going to get your answers for your exams or whatever on Google AI, think again. This is why it's important, if you're using technology like this, make sure you have some knowledge of what you're talking about, and you will know immediately if what they're spitting out is false. Okay, you have to know. Hester says, oh my gosh, has AI lost its marbles? Listen, yes, eat rocks, y'all. Yes, glue on pizza, all of that. Yes, y'all. Tracy says, what, the glue? Y'all, so this is happening. So here on News in Motion, we put this type of information out here to say, check your sources. Check your sources. Don't just grab it and put it in your essay that you're trying to submit to college applications. Check your sources. Know what it is, what you're writing. If you have written an article, write the entire article, submit it. Now, the other thing that I'm learning on AI for all of you who are writers out here, freelance writers, and you have proprietary information, you need to note that. I'm learning that just from talking to people. Note on the bottom, this is proprietary information. This is my intellectual property. So there's a record saying that that's what it is. But you put in your article and you just look for minor changes. Or it's like, what's another word for this? Or what's another word for that? Just like you would do on Google. Okay, so y'all be very careful. Um, uh, yes, Dr. Antoinette, do the work. Y'all, let's not become lazy. Let's not become lazy with this because some of these things aren't even reliable. And that's why we've been telling y'all for over a year, be careful with AI. It will send out disinformation and misinformation. Check your work. Lori says that's horrible. It's too many impressionable young people struggling with stuff as it is. Yes, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. So we're going to put that full article. I want y'all to take y'all's time and read through this in the Friday Rundown. If you do not have the Friday Rundown, if you do not receive it, it's a newsletter that comes out every Friday. You won't get it in August, but every Friday, just scroll through, take what you want, the rest, move on. But you can go to gaildudley.com. A pop-up box will pop up. Put in your information. You'll be signed up for the Friday Rundown. You'll be signed up for there. We always sending y'all free stuff too, always. Adrian says, if there is ever a time to double and triple check sources of content, incredibly important. I 1,000% agree with you. Actually, y'all, AI is, if you're serious about it, it's making you do the work. It's making you check. So then you know it for yourself. So go ahead and do it that way. Make it check. Now, say what you want. I'm shifting just a little bit, but say what you want, but you should, who shouldn't be paid for overtime? Everybody should be paid for overtime. That's just my belief. So there's a U.S. business group who has filed a suit to block the Biden administration's rule requiring mandatory overtime pay for salaried workers making less than $1,128 a week. Now, the plaintiffs are arguing that regulations would negatively impact small businesses and nonprofit organizations. So Yahoo Finance put this out there, and this is really good, y'all. A coalition of U.S. business groups have filed a lawsuit seeking to block their rule, in which it extends mandatory overtime pay to 4 million workers, saying it goes too far. Now, the group has filed a complaint in Sherman, Texas. This is a federal court late on last Wednesday, claiming that the U.S. Department of Labor lacked the power to adopt this rule, and it would force businesses to cut jobs and limit workers' hours. Yeah, I went and dug into this. Not so. So, y'all, the rule will require employees to pay overtime premiums to workers who earn a salary less than $1,128 per week. Now, this is before taxes. Okay, let that sink in. This is before taxes. We're talking roughly about $58,000 per year when they work more than 40 hours. So they're capped without overtime pay if they're a salaried worker, about $58,000 a year. This is before taxes. Let that sink in Texas, before taxes. Y'all got that? Even far west, before taxes. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. Follow along, follow along, follow along. Now, the current threshold is about $35,500 per year. Now, that was set by the Trump administration in 2020. That advocacy groups and many Democrats have said does not cover enough workers. Imagine $35,500 before taxes per year. Try living off of that here in America, okay? And we already see the disparities and things that are happening right now. So let's just talk about these numbers. And what's happening is, because you know me, I'm nosy, I'm digging into this. I'm nosy. I am finding that companies are, instead of slating people as hourly, they're slating them as salary so that they don't have to pay overtime pay. So first of all, y'all cheating by slating somebody as salary, but you're wanting them to work overtime. So you're already falsifying, giving a spin, breaking the rules, all of that. And so the US Department of Labor have been following along and they're seeing what's happening. They're going to places like Glassdoor. If y'all haven't seen or heard of Glassdoor, glassdoor.com, it talks about salaries, it talks about positions, and it'll give you references or recommendations or testimonies from previous employees. Now, some are false, just like any kind of reviews that are out there, but some are real. So you have to vet your sources to see what's really happening. So you're slating them as salary, so you don't have to pay overtime, but you're demanding overtime, but now you don't want to pay them. Make it make sense. Elizabeth Walker said, yes, listen, y'all, make it make some sense here. Make it make some sense. So this business group in the lawsuit said the cost of complying with the new rule will force many smaller employers and nonprofit operations operating on fixed budgets to cut critical program staffing services to the public. Let me clarify for y'all. They filed a suit using small businesses, but it's not the small businesses that are doing it. It's the corporations that are doing it. So if they file the suit and they say it's small business, because we're going to be so sympathetic to small businesses, to nonprofit organizations, to smaller companies. We're like, oh, they can't afford it, because many of us have small businesses. I know I couldn't afford it, right? But that's not who's doing it. It's the larger corporations, the manufacturing companies who can pay these employees. They're slating them in as salaried workers. Hello, somebody. So that they can make them work overtime. Well, your salary, we don't have an hour. You don't have a time thing. It's not 40 hours. Your salary, you could be here for 70 hours. We don't care. We just need you to get the job done. But this is all we're going to pay you, $58,000. No, and that's before taxes. Absolutely not. Y'all, these things are on the ballot. I want y'all to be mindful, because what's on the ballot? The judges are on the ballot. Hello, somebody. Pay attention and connect the dots. They're using small businesses and nonprofit organizations because they're getting our sensitive side. We're talking larger corporations here. Latrice Jones says, where they do that at? Listen, they're trying to do it throughout the entire country of the United States of America. But this is all starting in Texas at the moment, Sherman, Texas, to be exact. Marion Jackson says, as overtime is not paid, employers will lose good employees. Mandatory overtime requires mandatory overtime pay, even if they are salary employees. There you go. So, because I want y'all to read more into that, that's going to also be in the Friday rundown. So make sure you sign up. All right, y'all, let's talk about water real quick. Let's talk about water. Then we're going to go to the storage real quick. I'm going to do this as fast as I can because I didn't realize it's already 8 o'clock. Y'all can see I love what I do. All right, y'all, the USA Today reports. Y'all be careful with that water y'all drinking. The EPA urges water utilities to protect the nation's drinking water. Say what? When I was flipping through all the alerts, I said, this one's very interesting. Y'all listen, there are concerns of cyber attacks to our water system. What? Y'all, cyber attacks are targeting water utilities across the country have increased in frequency and severity. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency warned everybody on Monday, somebody say Monday, as it urges the community water systems to take immediate steps to reduce cybersecurity vulnerabilities and protect the nation's public drinking water supplies. Straight out of the USA Today, I gave the complete quote there. Y'all, there is an urgency. A majority of water systems, over 70%, somebody say 70%, impacted by the EPA since September, has violated standards in the Safety Drinking Water Act, according to the alert. Somebody say hello, help me. Y'all better watch what y'all drinking. That's why we all drinking wine, y'all, right? Dr. Antoinette says, plus the DOL creates, the Department of Labor creates a job class category, which determines whether a position is exempt or non-exempt. You are absolutely correct. Yes, Kim Edmondson say what? Yes, Latrice, Lord the water. Yes, 70%, y'all. 70%. Y'all, the Safe Drinking Water Act was established to protect the public health by regulating public drinking water supplies in the country, according to the EPA. Now, y'all, they said they have identified since January alarming cybersecurity vulnerabilities in our water systems. In our water systems. Y'all pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Yes, Hester, now the water system. Someone is really trying to take us out. There you go. Those are the words of Hester. Marion Jackson said, hello, help me, y'all. That is happening. So with everything happening with that, let me go to the storms this past weekend, y'all. A wave of severe storms caused at least 22 deaths. This is coming from the weather system, the weather alert system. In 4 states over the holiday weekend, parts of Texas and Mid-South are still dealing with the devastating weekend and some extreme heat. I'm so glad we're cooling off here in Columbus, Ohio. But y'all, 8 people died in Arkansas, 7 in Texas, 5 in Kentucky, and 2 in Oklahoma. Y'all, with that, we're going into hurricane season. I'm going to wrap it up, so hang on with me, Isaiah. We're going into hurricane season. Y'all, the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season is expected to have above normal activity. We got a water system. We got cyber attacks in the water. We got tornadoes, people dying. Now hurricanes are coming in. They're saying it's going to be 85% worse than it has in about 3 decades. Y'all, I'm just like, what is happening? Y'all, among the storms, here are some of the names that we're going to be listening to. The first one will be Alberto, then Beryl, then Chris, then Debbie, then Ernesto, Francine, Gordon, Helena, Isaac. Isaac is a storm, Latrice. Joyce, Kirk, Leslie, Milton, Nadine, Oscar, Patty, Raphael, Sarah, Tara, Valerie, and William. And they believe that all of those names will be listed in this year's system with the hurricane season. The hurricane season officially starts on June the 1st and it goes to November the 30th. I didn't realize it was that long. The peak of activity will begin around mid-August to mid-October. No cruises, y'all. And an average season has about 14 names. Yeah, that's what's happening. There are 6 alphabetical list of names that are rotated. I wanted to know this. I thought I would share this with y'all because I think this is actually fascinating. Y'all, there are about 6 alphabetical list of names that are rotated through every 6 years. So the names that we'll see here in 2024 will be used again in 2030. I just thought that was interesting. All right, y'all, here's the inspirational message. Trust, 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 trust. Everything I just gave y'all, we got to trust. Let's see, what are y'all saying? Deborah says, why Debbie? Who decided these names? That's the weather system. The people in there, y'all know, you know. Hurricane Isaac. Yep, we're going to have a hurricane at that graduation party, aren't we? Y'all trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Y'all know, if y'all tune in to News in Motion, I'm always going to give you an inspirational message. And the inspirational message will always have a biblical hint to it because I am a follower of Jesus. I realize some of y'all fall off right about this time. Some of you say, although you're from different religious backgrounds, you still stay in because there's something that you gain from this inspirational message. Y'all listen, trust is the only way we're going to get through each day. That's all we got. All we got is trust at this moment. We got to trust in the water system. So at the next time you pour some water, you grab your bottled water, you sitting there like, can I drink this water? Or is something in here? Has something attacked y'all? 70% of the water system. You heard that. And don't trust me. Google it for yourselves. Hurricane season, trust. Y'all see how the hurricane wind sometimes reached all the way up here to Ohio when it came through Houston a few years ago, right? Trust. The weather system is all wacky, y'all. We gotta trust. We don't know who's going to end up in the Oval Office in November. We have to trust. We don't know what's happening in the school systems. We have to have a level of trust. We don't even know our neighbors anymore. We have to have a level of trust. We can't even trust our banking system, our credit card system. We can't trust. Cyber attacks are everywhere. This weekend, I get this alert. And somebody's trying to get into my Instagram. It took me a long time. So if you got anything crazy from me from Instagram over the holiday weekend, asking you for something, it was not me. I did not have control of my Instagram for about 12 hours. And I finally got it back. At least I think I got it back. I finally got it back. Everything seemed to have lined back up. So if you got something crazy, know the people that you are in conversation and relationship with, because I know some stuff was out there. It was not me. And if you know me, you know it wasn't me. So yes, somebody hacked, and then they hacked in, not the same people. Somebody hacked into my PayPal. So I had to fix that, all of that. Then somebody hacked into my Stripe account. I had to fix all. I was like, what? Why am I a target? How did this get out here? How do I will all of this back in? Come to find out they weren't connected at all. It was just my name, I guess, came up that, okay, let's hack her this weekend. But everything seems to be back together. So y'all protect yourself, but you got to trust. You have to trust. You have to have a level to trust. Tracy says somebody tried to hack her as well. Y'all, we have to trust. This is a season to trust. All right, y'all, don't forget, we're here the rest of tomorrow and Thursday. We're not here on Mondays or Fridays. And then all of June, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we celebrate our 4th year being in this digital news platform on June the 22nd. July, Young People Takeover. You will only see me after the RNC convention, because I got to come in and report to y'all about that. And I'll do it along Isaiah and Lexi. August, you will only see me when I do the DNC commentary for that. And then we'll be back in September, October, November. Y'all pray. I don't know what we're going to do come November after the election, but we'll see where we're going with that. But y'all, thanks for hanging out with me. If you have not gotten a copy of Inspire Call to Action, please get that sooner than later. You can go to Amazon.com to get a copy of that. If you have the book, I'm begging you. I am literally on my knees begging you at this moment. Not technically, but okay. Just imagine me on my knees begging you. Review the book. Go to Amazon.com, review the book. Please review the book. We need you to review the book. You can find the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other places as well. All right, y'all. That's what we have today. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, and remember, make some bold moves. We're out.
Motion.